Welcome to Just a Tech Tip. My name is Dr. Scott Azar, and I'm here to show you EdCafe. And before we get started, if you are interested in quick tech tips, longer tech tips, a lot of different things EdTech, go check out, like, and subscribe to Azar Sciences, which is my YouTube channel, where as a teacher, I just try to show you what will be great for your classroom and maybe what stinks, we'll see. I honestly am checking this out for the first time. It's EdCafe, and they reached out to me and asked to review their platform, and they gave me some premium access for that. So I'm excited to give this a shot and to show you my first, well, not my first time using it, but my first time actually trying to create a quiz and to use their student-facing feature as well. So what I'm going to do is take a page out of my standards. And actually, let me rephrase here. We'll go back. This is what I did. I went to create new and quiz. You have some options. You could pick the topic, specific text, a web page if you wanted to do something like that. They recently found the best evidence for life on Mars, or a file. I'm actually going to take the New York version of the Next Generation Science Standards. Let's say that I really worked on that first set of standards and I want to create a quiz or a test. Well, let's see what this does. I'm going to go mixed because in New York, we're doing cluster style questions, which means it's a mix of the two, and it's based on some anchoring phenomenon. And I'm going to just shoot for the fence here. And I'm actually going to add that for my instructions. So this is a big ask. A lot of other things have failed. I've made my own custom stuff that's doing really well. But let's see what happens. All right. Now, while it's loading, let's just kind of, what is the process that releases? Yeah, see, it didn't do what I needed it to do. These are pretty low level questions. These are a lot of recall questions. I'm seeing it really scatter around. You know, something I'm also noting, oh, it can add, at least it could add an image. Okay. I'm also pretty sure I picked mixed. I did. And it only made multiple choice questions. Yeah. No kidding. All right, let's try NASA life on Mars. Multiple choice. I'm going to try it again. Mixed. Let's do 20. Grade. Just keep it simple, I guess. And that might be what this gets used for. All right. I mean, now it's generating something. But again, I asked it for mixed. Maybe I'll do it in the second set. Maybe it's a glitch with the number of questions I'm asking for. There we go. Okay. It kept it towards the end. Maybe it did on the other one and I just didn't look. To be honest, what I would say in these, let me see, how does this influence our understanding? Okay, why is public important? Some of these questions definitely are a little higher order and gets kids to think about why we peer review things and with our understanding. A lot of these are check for understanding questions, though. I mean, I wouldn't give this a very high score. I would use it for low level things. I wouldn't say this is the quiz that I would give to, really push my students' thinking overall. But I mean, yeah, it's decent. I feel like it has its place. I'm not gonna. I don't want to bash it completely. Like I wouldn't make this a like a unit assessment or some kind of a larger, higher stakes test. But for something low level, I mean, it looks great for that. So I will give them the credit for that. And again, if this is something what you're looking for, like perfect, right? I mean, this definitely will save you a lot of time, right? As when we look at AI as a teaching assistant, this really is what comes to mind. If you do want to see something that's a little bit more robust in making much larger questions, again, especially if you are a New York State teacher, please reach out to me at azarsciences@gmail.com or shoot me a message on my Instagram or TikTok, which is also Azar Science, no S at the end, just Azar Science. Probably should change that. Because I can share my chatbot with you and it works for all sciences, but you'll get much better answers. You'll get stimuli. You'll get a lot of the things that you need. Let's just create this test. And let's just see what it's like to take this quiz. And so I'll click a bunch of random things. Now, to kind of back up on something while you're making the quiz, what is good is it contains explanations for the questions as well. It's explain why. I'm going to try to really answer these questions and see what happens to see if it can grade them, because that would be pretty cool actually. Because most of these things can't really grade questions like that are open-ended very well. So let's see. And I'm hoping really AI, that's the big thing. Like, can it really understand the question, understand the answer, and really give me a good, solid piece of feedback and a grade? All right. Explain what. Okay, let's see what it does. 33%. Okay. So this is great. The sample collected, yada, yada, gives explanations for all of these. That's really nice. I mean, that saved me a lot of time. The explanations are pretty solid based on the article. Good feedback. Okay. So now let's see what this looks like on my end. Let's go to responses. Median time take. It took me 2 minutes. So can I override these? Okay. So I really can't do anything with that. I don't really know how it decides a multiple choice average score. Okay. And this would give me the percentages for each. All right. Well, I can export these on a bunch of different types of formats into a Google form, which kind of seems redundant. Google Slides, PowerPoint, Google Docs, Word, PDF. That's pretty cool if you had to do other things with it. Nice. You could translate it. That's a lot of languages you can translate to, which is really cool. And I swear I am learning how to do this as well. And I think if I wanted to edit it, yeah, you can add a multiple choice or a short answer question in between. That's pretty cool. All right. 6 out of 10, I think. You know, like I said, definitely has a place in the classroom. Definitely has a huge time saver, which, I mean, think about just the amount of time you can do, you can spend on bigger tasks by automating some of these lower level tasks, especially something like this: read an article, here's some comprehension, and then you could free up more time to either move and plan ahead, or we might even be able to build a supplemental. Let's see here. What happens if I wanted to create a slide deck on that same, oops. 16 to 20. Generate. That's the correct picture. It's probably having a hard time because it's looking for a lot of pictures in there. So what I'm taking out of this, let's just go look at this while it's doing it. Okay, look, you know what? All things considered, I actually really like the fact I'd rather it use the same picture over and over and over again. And then I can always look for, so let's just say if I search Martian soil. That's all right. You know what? I like that. I would rather it not pull some BS. I would rather think about what it is I want, and it's trying to pull from the article. So I actually respect the process in that. But again, look at how much time they just saved in putting this all together. And we can save it. We can do orbit. Perfect. Yeah. I'm actually really liking EdCafe the more I've used it. And if you have seen any video on this, you are pretty much aware of the time that I've spent on EdCafe. So this is my real honest reaction to using this, because there are so many tech platforms out there and I don't want to give you false ideas that things are great or not and use them for a bunch of times, because there's definitely platforms where I've used a ton and I will whip right through that. But I kind of wanted to change it up and actually just try to that's cool. You can send it to Google Classroom. Nice. I could turn it into a Google slide. Let's see what that looks like. I really wanted to just make this authentic. So, you know, I'm hopefully not wasting a lot of time for you. But anyway, in the interim, thank you so much for coming to check this out. And like I said, if you want to check out other videos, I have tons of other platforms. Add a comment below if there's another platform you'd like me to check out and to give you some feedback on. So until then, see you in the next video.